Today we are going to explain a topic, scheduling algorithm from operating system. My team members are Muhammad Farhan Arshad, Shivaji Patil, Aniket, Varshit Ram and Siddhartha. Scheduling algorithm is a method followed by CPU to select the order of the process execution. It ensures the efficiency and good performance of the system. The first method in scheduling algorithm we are going to learn is first come first serve. In first come first serve, the processes which arise first executes completely. Then next process comes into the picture. So we will understand first come first serve with a simple experiment. So which requires processes. We will take 5 processes. That is first process is P1. This is Aniket. He will perform as a P1 process. Next process P2, Farhan Arshad. Next process P3. Here is Varshit Ram, process P3. Siddhartha, process P4. Shivaji, process P5. Burst time as 1 Copico chocolate. Like if the burst time one is 5 seconds, we will take 5 Copico chocolates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are going to perform an experiment to understand first come first serve. The completion time, starting time is 0, like completion time. Till now no process is executed, so the completion time is 0. So now I want to call process P1 whose burst time is 4 seconds. 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Completion time is 4. Next, I want to call process P2 whose burst time is 3 seconds. Burst time is nothing but it is the time required by process to completely execute the process. Next, process P3. Process P3 burst time is 1 second. Next, process P4 burst time is 2 seconds. P5 completion burst time is 5 seconds. Now let's check the completion time of each processes and note down the values. When it comes to process 1, what's your completion time? Process P2, completion time. Process P3, completion time. 8. Process P4, completion time. 10. Process P5, completion time. So we have completed the experiment and we have noted the completion time of each processes. First we have done experiment on first come first serve. Now we'll calculate the turnaround time and waiting time. So when it comes to turnaround time, it is nothing but completion time minus arrival time. The arrival time was given in the question. Completion time we have calculated by performing an experiment. So we'll calculate turnaround time. Turnaround time is nothing but completion time minus arrival time, which is 4 minus 0. It comes to 4. 7 minus 1, 6. Then 8 minus 2, 6. Then 10 minus 3, 7. And 15 minus 4, 11. Now when it comes to waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time. The turnaround time is 4 and burst time is 4. It is 0 seconds. Waiting time is 0 seconds from P1 process. P2 process waiting time is 6 minus 3, which is 3 seconds. P3 process is 6 minus 1, 5 seconds. Then P4 process is 7 minus 2, this is 5 seconds. And P5 process is 11 minus 5, that is 6 seconds. Done. So the main disadvantage of FCFS is convoy effect, which means that whenever P1 is the process assumed, if it's burst time is more, then P2, other processes have less burst time, then they need to wait for a long time. So that is the disadvantages of FCFS. So in the next process we are going to learn the SJF, which means the shortest job first. Shortest job first means the one which is having the less burst time will execute first, will complete the process first. So now we will perform the experiment by taking 4 processes whose burst times are listed as process P1. Here is the process P1 whose burst time is 6 seconds. Next, process P2 whose burst time is 8 seconds. Next, process P3 whose burst time is 7 seconds. Now process P4. Here it is process P4 whose burst time is 3 seconds. Now as I told you, the process with less burst time will execute first. So process P4 whose burst time is 3 seconds, which is the lowest burst time, so it will execute first. Next lowest process is P1, which is 6 seconds. Process P3 will execute now. whose burst time is 7 seconds. Next, P2 process will execute whose burst time is 8 seconds. Let's check the completion now. Let's note down the completion time of all the processes. So, process P1, what's your completion time? Process P1, that is 9. Process P2, what's your completion time? 24. Process P3, what's your completion time? 16. Process P4, what's your completion time? So, we have calculated the turnaround time and waiting time for FCFS. Now we are going to calculate the turnaround time and waiting time for shortest job first. We have noted the completion time by performing an experiment. Now we will calculate turnaround time. In SJF, we have taken an example where arrival time will be 0 for every single process. So for calculation of turnaround time, we will assume that arrival time is 0. So completion time minus 0. Turnaround time will be 9. 24 minus 0, 24, 16 minus 0, 16, and 3 minus 0, 3. Now, waiting time is nothing but turnaround time minus burst time. So, turnaround time is 9 minus 6, 3. Waiting time is 3 seconds. P2 waiting time is 16 seconds. And P3 waiting time is 6 minus 7, that is 9. And P4 waiting time is 0. You can observe here that process P2, whose burst time is more, 8 seconds, so the waiting time for it is 16 seconds. So that is only the disadvantage. It is starvation. It need to wait for longer time, that is 16 seconds. Previously we have learned about shortest job first. The main disadvantage of shortest job first is that like the process whose burst time is more will die with starvation. Why? Because the processes with small burst time will execute first, due to which the process with more burst time get the chance at the last, at the end. So the main disadvantage is starvation. So now we will learn about SRJF, which is shortest runtime first. We will understand this method by performing a simple experiment. We are considering 3 processes. One is process P1, process P2, another is process P3. Like process P1 arrival time is 0 seconds, process P2 arrival time is 1 second, process P3 arrival time is 3 seconds. Then burst times respectively are P1 process burst time is 7 seconds, P2 process burst time is 3 seconds, P3 process burst time is 4 seconds. At arrival time 0 second, process P1 comes into the picture. Process P1 burst time is 7 seconds, but when it starts executing for 7 seconds, as it executed for 1 second, no issue. But when it executes for second, CPU interrupts. That's why process P1 will execute for only 1 second. At arrival time 1, process P2 also comes into the picture, but process P2 has 3 seconds burst time. That's why process P2 will execute at 1 second, then at 2 seconds. Now the arrival time is 2 seconds. So as at arrival time 2 processes will be there, P1 and P2. But P1 is remained with 6 seconds burst time and P2 is remained with more 2 seconds burst time. So process P2 will execute 1 second more. Now the arrival time has changed to 3 seconds. At 3 seconds, process P3 also comes into the picture. Process P3 burst time is 4 seconds. Process P2 need to execute for more 1 second. Why? Because it is remained with 1 more burst time, 1 more second burst time, and process 1 is remained with 6 seconds burst time. So process P2 will execute for 1 more second. Then next again, now process P2 has terminated. Process P2 has completed. 3 seconds execution has completed. P2 will be completed. Now P3 is there, P1 is there. P1 is remained with 6 seconds. P3 is remained with 4 more seconds. Now P3 will execute as it is less time, less execution, less burst time, 4 seconds. Now at last P1 will execute for 6 seconds. Now we will note down the completion times of each processes. First P1 process, what's your completion time? 13 seconds. P2?
4 seconds.
P3?
8.
Now we are going to calculate the waiting time and turnaround time for shortest runtime first method. So we have noted the completion time by performing a simple experiment which you have seen in the before part. Now we will calculate. So what is turnaround time? Completion time minus arrival time. Turnaround time, completion time is 14 seconds, arrival time is 0 seconds. So the turnaround time will be 14 seconds, and completion time is 4 seconds, and arrival time is 1 second, 3 seconds, and completion time is 8 seconds, and arrival time is 3 seconds. So turnaround time will be 5 seconds. Now waiting time. Waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time. 14 minus 7. Waiting time is 7 seconds, and turnaround time is 3 minus 3. Burst time, which is 0, and turnaround time 5 minus burst time is 4. Waiting time is 1 second. Right, done.